had an entirely different video planned out. I didn't even plan to do this, but I got inspired by Tolulope solutions. And then when Sotonye reacted to what Tolulope spoke about, I was like, okay, I have one or two things to say about adult friendships too. And that's how we got here. So let's jump right into it. Before I say anything else, I would like to establish the fact that I grew up very shielded. I'm the only offspring of my parents, and so I was always supervised and kept away from harm's way. So I feel like every loving parent would do the same for 6 children or 4 children or whatever. All I'm trying to say is that because of the way I was raised, I didn't really know how cold the world is. I literally was in a bubble. From everything I saw my parents dish out to me and dish out to each other, I came to the conclusion that if you love people and show them kindness, they'll do the same. So that's how that was the mentality I basically had growing up. This mentality made me very, very, very naive. When I was in secondary school, if my classmate offends me, it's me that will go and apologize to that person. I always hold out the olive branch. I'm always trying to be in everybody's good books. Like, I just hated hey. Oh, beke wa agbara. Negative energy. So yeah, I hated that. So if I fall out to somebody and it's that person's fault, I'll find myself going to say, oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, the Bible says we should share turn our cheek. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I never offended anybody and I have never offended anybody, but no, I'm just saying I'm speaking from my own perspective. I'm sure if you call my classmates and say, oh, what was your experience schooling with this individual in secondary school, they will have their own side of the story that could even be a shock to me. Nobody's perfect, right? But yeah, I'm just speaking from the lens of my experience. So this went on through my junior secondary, leading up to like SS2 and all. And then we were giving posts in secondary school, and it was mandatory that when you have a post in your secondary, if you have a post in my school, you have to be in the boarding house. So I had to move into the hostel, especially to prepare for WAEC and all of that. Yeah. So that was what happened. And there was this group of girls in my class that just hated my guts. I didn't do anything to them. I'm not sure if it had anything to do with the fact that I was a senior prefect, but looking back now, I'm like, it's just a post. I don't know, but I don't even want to go into all that. I'm just trying to extract something from that experience. I got so much attitude from them. I heard so many things behind my back and all of that. And guess what? Because I love peace a lot and I just was overwhelmed by everything going on, I found solace in befriending junior students, like JS1 students. Mind you, I was in SS2 going to SS3. I remember when I was eventually leaving school in SS3 after WAEC and everything, 70 to 80% of the junior students, like JS1 students, wrote me a letter, a love letter I cannot forget. And I wish I preserved those letters. But one thing I should say about myself is that I love deeply. Like, I am a lover girl. Whether it's relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's family members, whoever it is, I love really, really deeply, and I look out for people a lot. And sadly, why am I tearing up? Sadly, it has come back to sadly, it has come back to bite me in the butt several times. So, still speaking on childhood friendships, I had friends even way back in nursery, primary school, that I saw myself valuing those friendships, even if distance was a barrier for years and moving from one city to another. I still remember, oh, this person is my friend. I went to school together with this person. My mom and this person's mom knew each other. So I preserved those kind of friendships a lot. There was a time some years back, I got a job in ECOWAS, literally, like a job in ECOWAS. Do you know what I did? I declined that ECOWAS job just to be there for this person. This is me literally playing with my future. I was like, no, this person has been there for me. Let me be there for her. I don't want to speak in what capacity, but just know it. that this is what happened. How many people can actually decline a job because they feel like it will jeopardize a relationship? Is that not stupidity? But I did it. I did it. I'm trying to paint a picture here. The fact that I know who I am and how far I can go to make sure that somebody that I love is good. When something happens and I'm not able to show up for you due to circumstances way beyond my control, and then you act up about it and refuse to speak about it, it hurts me so deeply because I'm like, this person, in one way or the other, I have been there for you, right? So something happens and then I was not able to be there for you in that capacity and at that point in time, and suddenly I am the worst person on earth. Is that the way it's supposed to work? This kind of scenario played out a good number of times, and then I began to think deeply. Because how is it that I am here for you, I've been there for you, but I wasn't able to be there for you right now? And then the future, there's always something, that comes up and I'll most likely still be there for you. Why is it that this one time is the worst thing to ever happen? Like this one time is unforgivable. So I began to say to myself, okay, you have a lot of love to give, but you need to step backwards and protect yourself a little bit so that you don't continue to give love to the wrong people. The people who are like, who only value you when you are at their beck and call. I'm at the point in my life right now, where I really honestly don't want to be the only person pouring into you. I can't, like, Made Tola, and I can't continue to pour into people who don't make any attempt to pour into me. Like, if I don't make any effort, you don't bother. Miss me with that, honey. It's not out of spite or anything, but really, for instance, now, how can I be the one always calling you, always texting you, but you never ever even send a message? You don't even check up on me. And I'm asking you, you're telling me, oh, you're not the calling type. You don't check up on people. Honey, checking up on people is effort, and effort is a byproduct of care and concern. If you really care about me, if you've not heard from me in a while, you check up on me. So if you can stay for 6 months, 1 year, you've not heard from me and you say you're my friend, I wonder what we're doing. Then any day I call you, you now be happy that I called you, but you can't return the favor. Questionable. So it is very, very important to know who is who in your life, and for you to also know who you are in other people's lives, so that you don't cross your boundary. Know whether you're on the high table of somebody's life or you're at the back seats, and also know who is who in your own life, right? People always say, know who your business partner is, know who your acquaintance is, know who your neighbor is or your colleague. Put everybody in that category. Yeah, I actually agree with that. But more effectively, this is how I categorize people in my life. There are 3 chambers in my heart right now: the outer court, the inner court, and the Holy of Holies. The outer court is the general space in my heart for everybody, for humanity. Anybody I ever come across, I love you. I love everybody. Whether you've hurt me before, whatever, it's a general place in my heart, right? So if I can ever do anything for you, I will not hesitate, and if I see you falling, I'll pick you right back up. This is what is expected of us all, right? Especially as Christians. Now, there's the inner court, but this inner court is sieved. The people in the inner court are a lot fewer, a lot. In fact, as I'm even growing older self, the numbers keep reducing. This inner court comprises of the people in your life that value your vulnerability. Vulnerability when you are at your lowest and your darkest. When you are at your highest, when you are celebrating, they value it, they celebrate with you, they are happy for you. When you are crying, when you are down and out, they are there for you and they don't use it against you. They value every season of your life. Those are the people in the inner court. The people in the inner court are people that defend you behind your back and correct you when both of you are alone. They see you as their person. They can never be in a room where something is said against you and they don't in fact, most times, people cannot even say bad about you because they are there, because they know that It's not possible for them to be there and listen while evil is said about you, lies are spread about you. On the other hand, they cannot be in a room where an opportunity for you to thrive, to grow, to expand, comes up and they don't mention your name. Those are the people in the inner court. So you can imagine how rare these people are. They are very rare. Oh. They are very rare. The older I get, I understand that. The most valuable relationships you ever have are from the people in your inner court. People in your inner court can change the trajectory of your life. They can make you or mar you. So it's very important to choose the right people to put in the inner court of your heart. And you can only do that through discernment, being extremely sensitive. They are very rare set of people to find. When you find them, make sure you also value them. Then there's the Holy of Holies. There's only one person that is there, that should be there. If any other person occupies the Holy of Holies, apart from this one person, then that person has become an idol in your life. Your husband, your children, your parents, your bestie, the people in your inner court, none of them should cross that boundary to enter the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies is between you and your maker. Is between you and the King of Kings, the ruler of the whole universe, the creator of heaven and earth. That's the only person. But the one who shares his glory with nobody. Don't you dare put anybody else in the inner court. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's circle it back. When it comes to friendship, there are certain things you should know. First of all, you should know what friendship itself means to you. What is friendship to you as a person? Sit down and ask your questions. Sit down and ask yourself that question. What exactly is friendship to you as an individual? It will really, really give you perspective about your friendships and where to place who. When you write down what friendship means to you, you'll be able to sieve out the people that don't align with your definition of friendship. When you've done that, another thing you should know is it is very important to communicate your hurts in friendship. Because let me tell you, even the people in your inner court will hurt you. The people in your inner court will still step on your toes, knowingly or unknowingly. And because they've done that, doesn't mean that the friendship has to end. Nobody is perfect, not even you, not even me. Okay? Stop burning bridges for the slightest reasons, especially when you value that friendship and you know that that person values you in return. Another thing you should know is that it is important to be a good listener in friendship. And not just listen, comprehend what that person is saying and make changes where necessary. So that's a byproduct of being a good listener, because you have to listen to understand for you to apply it and do better, right? So yeah, it's very important to listen. I'm not warning you, this one I'm pointing finger like this. So I'm just saying it's very important to listen in friendship. Don't listen to defend yourself. Don't listen to respond. Listen to actually do better. And listen to hear the heart of your friend. It is very, very important. This is tied to what I just said. Be a teachable friend. Be a friend who is, quick to own up to their mistakes and do better. Yeah, but if you think you know it all and you never make any mistakes and you're always in the right, then that friendship is doomed for destruction already. You should also know that people are different. People love differently, right? Having said that, it's important to give people the benefit of the doubt. And it is also important to also try to understand how to love people and be there for people the way they want to be, as much as you can. People are different. People react differently, people love differently, people express themselves differently. Not everybody will be like you, and so have that at the back of your mind and extend grace to your friend. Overlook certain things. And all these things I'm saying actually applies to all types of relationships, both marital relationships, parenting, and mother-daughter, father-son, whatever. Parenting, child relationship, you understand? Colleague and whatever relationship, it applies. Is an all-rounder. It applies to every kind of relationship. But yeah, let's go back to what we're talking about. We're talking about friendships today, right? You should also know that it is important to be a good friend in and out of sight I made this point earlier. If your friend is there, be good to them in their presence. When they are not there, be a good friend. Be a good friend. Let them be able to trust you with their whatever secrets or whatever they decide to share, whatever. Let them be able to be vulnerable with you without having the fear of being backstabbed, or without having the worry of that information being used against them in the future. Do you understand? That's you being a high value friend. Nobody wants to discard that kind of person. And even if you guys fall out or you guys have your differences in the future and maybe don't speak for a while or just are trying to work things out, it's not a leverage for you to now use anything against them. That's not you being a good friend. Even if the friendship ends, still value the time that you guys had together and keep it moving. Keep it moving. It took a lot for them to tell you that thing or confide in you in that capacity. So keep it that way. Be a good friend in their presence. Be a good friend when they are not there. You can't say you're somebody's friend and you're tarnishing the person's image, gossiping about them. Another point you should note is that you don't need quantity, you need quality. If you have 1 or 2 solid friends in your inner court, you are good. You are good. You mustn't be friends with everybody in the world. That's even a lot. How will you keep up when you have 1, 2, 3, 4 solid friends, 5, depending on how many you can handle? You're actually good to go. You don't need a crowd of friends to feel like you are loved or something. No, I've seen situations where people are literally trying to shove themselves down other people's throats, and those people are trying to throw them back up, and it's just a struggle, discomfort, back and forth, heartbreak. Don't let that be you. There's no point. When people show you that this is where our friendship ends, this is where knowing each other ends, respect that, my love. Respect that. Give yourself that respect. It doesn't breed hatred or contempt or bad blood, but just like I said, allow them to stay in the outer court. There's still love there, right? Also, I'd like to let you know that friendship breakup is real. I want to just list out some possible reasons, some possible causes of friendship breakups. Lack of similar values could cause the end of a very close friendship. Like you guys have just grown apart, you have different world views and different perspectives and ideologies about certain topics, and you just find out that you guys no longer align. So in that case, it's fine. The friendship can actually just dwindle away and you can wish each other well and move on with your lives. Distance can also break a friendship up because you're in different cities, different countries. You definitely want to probably find somebody else that is in close proximity. Distance is a very, very heavy factor in friendship breakups between ladies. I'm speaking from a lady's point of view. Another funny set of reasons that could cause friendship breakup is marriage. Okay, maybe that's valid. I don't know, but I don't know why people do that. They get married and discard their single friends. Weird. That means you really weren't friends with that person in the first place. But anyway, people do that. Another one is motherhood. When you're actually, both of you are probably even married, and then one person is a mother and the other one is still waiting to be a mother. You see the mother, withdrawing, or maybe she has valid reasons why, but they just grow apart basically. Maybe the friendship will continue when the other one becomes a mom and they have something else in common. I don't know, but I've heard stories of this happening. So now that you know some reasons for friendship breakups, you should also know that, as an adult, you should have picked out your personal values at a certain age. And sadly, not everyone shares the same value as you do, or the same values as you do, and not everyone shares the same values you have for your life's journey. So you have to let them go. That's the sad reality. I mean, you will definitely still love them and be there for them when they need you, but as far as your life's journey is concerned, they most likely now belong to the outer courts of your heart, and that's fine. Like I always say, there's still love in the outer court, right? So yeah, let's talk principles. As everything else in life, friendship has principles, and it's good that you know some of the principles of friendship. It will definitely give you direction, especially when you take the time to be intentional in applying them. In friendship, there must be trust, honesty, empathy, loyalty, respect, mutual respect, communication, mutual support, equality, shared interests and values, and forgiveness. That's one thing I love about God. He is very expressive about who we are to him. If you study his word, you know how much he loves you. He doesn't hide it. He said it, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believes in him, he will not perish but have everlasting life. So God is very expressive, very unashamed in letting us know that I got you, like I love you. And he doesn't just love, he is love himself, so if we study the character of God, we'll really know how to do this friendship thing. I'm telling you, if I say that this video you just finished watching now is all there is to dissecting the topic of friendship, then I'll be deceiving you. Please head on to Tolu Lopez Solutions channel now. She spoke about friendship heartbreaks and she gave her own stories about that. So, and it's really an interesting watch. I think you should go and watch that. And when you're done, you can also watch the analysis that Sotonye brilliantly expressed in her own video. And yeah, if you've watched up until now, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me also know your experiences as far as friendship heartbreak or friendship experiences have been in your life. Please, if you're not subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe. You can also share this video. I think it's too long, but it had to be because I really had to express myself. I know I didn't cover the entire topic, so whatever I didn't say, I'm sure you'll find in these other channels that I just mentioned. I'm tired. It's about 1 a.m. right now and I need to sleep. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.